go. But a nice deep structure allows for a lot of play for everyone, and the cream really does rise to the top when that happens. So we have Sloaters and Ponk here just kicking it off in game 1 of the finals. Gonna have a best-of-3 match between them, and I'm looking forward to see how this goes.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of how good these guys are, so Sloaters only lost twice, once in the regular season to Zos, and once in the playoffs to Ajder in the quarterfinals. Ponk has lost twice. He forfeited a match early on when I believe he died to Mother Brain at the end. I believe that was to... I'll have to look that up for a second.
It was probably Toasty. Toasty's so lucky.
Yeah, that would be a Toasty thing to happen, but it wasn't Toasty. It was Mr. Guy Average, and then he also he lost a match to Cheese Reaver, and though Ponk swears to me this is not true, he just did it. He maybe not so great an idea of going down to Lower Norfair without Various Suit with not quite enough E-tanks, and swears that if the Firefleas item had been anything but a reserve tank, he would have been fine. I disagree, but anyway, those were his losses. So each one losing only twice.
Okay, so Ponk's losses are to Ponk doing dumb things.
Yep.
And Sloater's losses are to Zost and Ajder, two of the absolute top players in this game. So something's got to give. We have, you know, the unstoppable force and the immovable object here, and one's gonna get the best of the other.
All right, so now we've seen some super missiles on Punk's screen. Sloaters has picked up regular missiles, and the ceiling item is just an E-tank. So we're gonna have a search for power bombs, perhaps.
Yeah, we see some supers and E-tanks, and it's not starting off great. I mean, supers is great to get. We got missiles and supers and an E-tank. So the power bomb search is on. And we're not going to be able to check a lot of stuff on our way up, so we're just going to head right for Bomb Torizo and see what major's there.
Yep, and that's going to be a choice of 3. It's got to be either Screw Attack, Speed Booster, or Bombs.
Yep, we got the pick'em. Bombs, of course, gives us a nice Bomb Torizo cutscene fight. But what do you think we're going to see at BT today by the time we get up?
I'm going to call for a Screw Attack. I've seen a lot of Speed Booster and a lot of regular bombs at that location. I haven't seen Screw Attack in a while, so let's see a little Screw Attack.
I would love to see Screw Attack, because that could allow for the Bryn Reserve back miner in the wall to be a power bomb sequence break with Screw Attack, and that's always fun. That's something that I haven't seen come up all that much, but I always kind of am hoping for it. It's a cool little trick that doesn't get shown off nearly enough.
And Ponk tells me it's a pretty easy thing to do, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, it's not that hard, it's just subtle.
All right, we're going to see right now. What do we got? Oh, there it is!
Let's go.
Got that Screw Attack. We'll see if either of them goes to Gauntlet 2 now. They can't go to the back, but they can check the front item.
Was about to mention that I don't think we'll see either of them go to Gauntlet. I don't think that's a good call here, and I don't think either of them feels like they have the time to spare. But we'll see. Oh, it looks like Sloaters might be headed there.
Sloaters is gonna check it out. Yeah, keep in mind he can't get his minor item here, because when you get to the room with the major item, you need some sort of explosive bombs or power bombs to get through.
And this can't be a suit, but it could be something really helpful, and could even be required.
It could be Speed Booster, could be bombs, could be ice. So there's lots of things it could be that'd be useful.
And then speed could absolutely lead to a suit at Waterway, for instance, that Ponk won't be able to get. So if it's speed, that's obviously enormous. But let's see. Ooh, that's a good one. This is gonna be worth it for Sloaters, but not a game breaker against Ponk. So I'm actually really happy to see Plasma there.
Worth picking up, but yeah, not the difference in the game.
Yeah, I love the nice well-timed spin breaks from Sloaters using angle to cancel the Screw Attack to set up a little bit of an extra platform there on Gauntlet entrance and exit. Just a good heads-up play to manage his health very nicely. Gets out with a full 199.
All right, we see Spring Ball over on Ponk's screen. So
More
they're both
importantly,
runners. Oh, here we go.
we found power
Power
bombs.
bombs.
So sorry, Sloaters. More important than Spring Ball, you're going to be getting power bombs real soon.
Yeah, power bombs very famously Sloaters' favorite item. Actually, it's a lot of people's favorite item, but it's legit Sloaters' favorite item. For a lot of us, it's more of a meme. Ponk's favorite item is the X-ray scope, which unfortunately for him, he's probably never going to pick up that plasma beam, so he probably won't be able to use it to its full randomizer potential and microwave the bosses. Sloaters will be able to later on, should they find X-ray and charge.
That is a really nice find there for Ponk. A second pack of power bombs here in the Bryn Reserve area. That is so helpful when you don't have actual bombs yet. Having a second pack, only one pack, means you can do all the things that you want to do, except for Lower Norfair exit, but they have screw attack to get around that. But realistically, you want 10 to do this Bryn Star stuff, and so that's going to be really helpful.
Ooh, high jump boots. So no high jump plus lava dive today. Both of these guys capable of doing that, should it have come up. Maybe we'll see it in a later seed.
Yeah, so high jump, spring ball, plasma for Sloaters already. This is going to be nice movement. So unfortunately, we're just going to see Sloaters kind of just tailing Ponk here for the next couple minutes based on that that gauntlet detour. They're both going to route this pretty identically. They have basically everything they could reasonably want for this area with the exception of Speed Booster. Sloaters was trying to do the quick drop and jump out on those missiles, ended up a little too far to the left, and then I think remembered about the terrain modification for Rando and decided to go back and get the missiles. That was pretty interesting, kind of watching that thought process play out in real time.
Yeah, Ponk picking up one more power bomb pack to get him to 15, which is a really nice number because it allows for crystal flashes and also allows for if you don't get Ice Beam, it guarantees you don't have to refill to kill all the Metroids.
Yeah, 15 is definitely the number of power bombs that you almost always want, especially if you don't have bombs yet. Opens up, like you said, Crystal Flash and just a number of other things like, Iceless Torian without refills and things. But Ponk did get a nice first try wave gate, backed himself into the corner, remembered he had high jump boots, jumped up, shot a super upward, and the gate opened by magic or by the movement of super missiles kind of clipping through the gate, whichever you prefer.
And wave beam.
The trick was in logic anyway, but that is kind of a funny thing to find there. But no speed, so we're going to be skipping Waterway for now.
Waterway is that annoying spot that when you don't get to check it early, it's always in the back of your mind, what if my item that I need is in Waterway?
So that's interesting by Sloaters, opening Mission Impossible. We'll see if he goes there. Okay, he's not. I was going to say, because that's just a minor location. That would be a very odd choice. It's a choice I've unintentionally made, because I get confused all the time. But no, he's not going to go there, just was kind of using that power bomb as the hundo positioning, or what you would do in a full rando, to open both Mission Impossible and the Wavegate door at the same time.
And of note, Ponk is not doing the early X-ray check. It's something he's actually relatively famous for.
Yeah.
But I think he feels like, I've heard him talk about this before, with only one energy tank and only 54 energy total in it, it is a risky check, and I feel like he's probably deciding, I'll just wait and see, get it later. Now he's got grapple beam, he can easily go back and check it.
Yeah, it was funny, before the race, you could see Sloaters was practicing early X-ray, so
We'll see if
he goes for it. His health is in a better situation for sure, but it's still not cozy for that. If you mess up, I mean, it's over. There's not a lot of safety for these runners because they don't have bombs or ice or anything to make it easy to get out, they're really just going to be relying on the waivers.
There is a way to spring ball jump, I believe, but these guys can do that, but that makes it more difficult.
On the way in, but I'm just talking about mitigating sort of damage on the way out.
Absolutely.
Spring ball jump is an alternate way into the X-ray area, though.
And actually, that's an in-logic item that was added for the playoffs. So.
Well, looks like we're going for a ride here on Sloater's side. He's setting himself up with a minimum to do the any % glitch strat, and this is going to be a treat. We'll see if he can pull it off.
Alright, basically what he's trying to do here is take damage from the waivers and use his iframes to not take damage from the spikes. The waivers, I believe, do 10 damage, whereas the spikes do, 60? Or is it... I want to say 60, since he has no suits. And he makes it all the way through very nicely.
Very nice by Sloaters. And just an E-tank, but it's a location he's not going to have to come back to. He's not going to feel bad about getting that grapple beam down at Spazer, and he's going to have a safer exit. He also turned off all of his items, so he's going to turn those back on. But yeah, that was very nice execution by Sloaters. Didn't pay off with anything but potentially, a kind of time-neutral play for later. He got it very quickly. But still really, really nice trick. And Sloaters is gonna spend a good bit of his health here getting out. We'll see. I don't think we'll see it because he's got 2 majors coming up in Kraid's area. But we might see the Sloaters refill coming up.
Always fun when Sloaters takes his own refill.
I really doubt he's going to, but we can always hope.
Nope, he skipped it. Ponk picking up Spazer in the frog pocket at the Kraid E-tank. Something I'm sure Sloaters will skip since he's got plasma.
Yep, so Cephal Gegar is in chat for Ponk. He will probably be riding that Spazer for quite a while. And we're getting an Ice Hell run here from Ponk as Sloaters is making his way into Kraid's lair.
Yeah, I like
he's not going to find anything too great.
I do like... Ooh, Gravity Suit. I do like the Ice Hell run early. That way, if you want to do Hell runs beyond that, you can get... Hopefully, you get an E-tank at High Jump Boots. But here we got Gravity Suit, so that's kind of a mixed blessing. Of course, you want to have Gravity Suit, but now it opens up Meridia for you. And so now, do you go do your Hell runs? Do you go to Meridia? Do you go to Wreck Ship? There's so many choices now.
Yeah, they don't really have E-tanks yet to do full Hell runs, but High Jump Boots will probably provide that. We'll see. But the choice between Meridia and Wreck Ship is pretty real, especially because they don't have Ice yet or Speed to logically get through to Botwoon's item. I actually don't know how comfortable either of these runners is with the Crystal Flash Clip. It is on the table, but without bombs, but with Spring Ball, it's not particularly easy.
And the High Jump, they're Speed Booster, so now they can full clear Meridia, so now they have all those choices. Yeah, to your point about the Crystal Flash Clip, I know Ponk can do it, I've seen him do it, but I don't think I've ever seen him try it in a run. I don't know about Sloaters. I suspect he can, but I haven't seen him do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, another trick that you have infinite tries at, basically, in the game. Like, it's a very safe trick to go for, so I'm sure both the runners can do it. I don't know if they have the reps to have practiced it to roll it out in a race is kind of more what I mean. But for Ponk with Speed Booster now, I would be surprised if this is not the Meridia play.
Oh, and Sloaters does pick up the Spazer.
Oh.
Let's see. Is he going to go through the menu?
Good.
The one reason why you might pick up Spazer is if you're looking ahead to a possible suitless Meridia, some runners will turn the plasma and switch it to Spazer just so you don't kill enemies by accident when you actually mean to freeze them.
Yeah, it's a reasonable thing to pick up for sure. It's something I would be surprised that if Sloaters meant to pick it up there. But we'll be seeing Ponk into Meridia. This makes a lot of sense, and we'll see if he finds something good here at Mama Turtle.
Oh, he needs a little more energy before he can do that giant spark, though.
That was just barely too low to see the item. That was pretty good.
It's Space Jump teasing him there. If he had that, he could have just jumped up there. Picking up my favorite item.
And Sloaters does have an extra E-Tank, so that could actually be really good for him if he decides he wants to do hell runs here. But I think with gravity plus speed, that's just such a signal to go to Meridia.
Yeah, and it is in logic because he does have 4 tanks total, the reserve tanks counting towards that. But I will point out the 2 tanks and reserve tank that Ponk has, while not putting it in logic yet, since it is because he could have gotten the Gauntlet energy tank. But he is more than capable of doing 2 energy tanks, 1 reserve, since that's the usual RBO setup he does. And so if he had wanted to do the hell runs, he could have. But I think he's making the right decision holding off on those for now.
I would agree. I mean, the refills for that can just take a lot of time. But Sloater's getting a nice iceless ice escape a few seconds ago. Really nice movement tech, or kind of showing off some movement there by Sloaters. And Ponk getting a little jagated, but is going to go on through to Botwoon. But low health, but good ammo. I hope this goes okay. Okay, he is getting out of the way of Botwoon, but he is going to need to stay out of the way of Botwoon. Oof.
He's going to get health bombed here.
And now Botwoon is in the only moving fast, not spitting at you phase. And yeah, that was a pretty intense fight there by Ponk, so I assume that we saw Sloaters grab Speed Booster, and then he's going to head for Meridia as well. Yep, looks like that's the play. But that was a pretty nice Botwoon there for Ponk.
So Ponk's going to have a few choices when he gets to Dragon here. He's got Speed Booster, so he can do the any percent strats with Speed Booster, and he's got Grapple Beam, so he can do that. He's got plenty of ammo if he wants to supplement ammo.
Yeah, I would suspect we'll probably see a grapple kill here, maybe a little bit of ammo or a speed booster opener on the first phase, or on the first swoop, but I mean, health is health is fine. Health is what it would be for an any percent run or better.
Oh yeah.
But it's just very quick to get that grapple kill.
And Ponk is well versed at doing the quick grapple kill as well, so that'll save a little more time.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets up and charges a spark here, or if he's just gonna wait and menu to grappling beam. And a little high on that opener, but yeah, opening with the spark, trying to get a free, 1,000 or so damage in on Dre, and then just gonna go for the quick grapple here. Nicely done. Good Dragon kill.
Very well done. That's probably the quickest way he could have done that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the quickest kill that he had on the table. And so was good that he got good RNG on that goop cycle, got what we call the lottery pattern, and was able to turn into a very quick fight. And Sloaters with a good first round of Botwoon, gonna finish it up, and nice quick Botwoon fight there from Sloaters. His health in much better situation than Ponk's was coming out of this fight. Ammo as well, but he's also gonna get an E-Tank here in just a second. So Ponk has options. He can go do sand pits, or sand pit rather, Shack Tool and Plasma, or can leave. And looks like he's gonna punt on the sand pit, which is really surprising.
Yeah, I like going down to sand pit because then it's easy to go to either Shack Tool or Plasma from there. When you go to Plasma first, then you're gonna skip sand pit to go to Shack Tool, or you're gonna have to go all the way back around to go to sand pit. On the other hand, maybe he's gonna take the Forgotten Highway up to the wrecked ship instead of even checking the other Meridia items.
Yeah, that's possible. Not necessarily faster, but not all that much slower, and it's a cool segment of rooms that we don't always get to see, so that can always be a nice treat. But I'm surprised to see this routing. Sloater's going for a spark suit, not getting it. We'll see if he tries again. It's tough with Spring Ball because you need to actually give an up input for the first input, while you're also initiating contact with the spark, so no begrudging someone for missing their Spring Ball spark suit.
And unfortunately, Plasma was just a reserve tank.
And Sloaters is going for the spark and ammo kill here. Nice kill.
Gets a blue suit out of it, nicely done. Going for the spike suit.
This is so tough to turn a charged spark or a blue suit into a spark suit with Spring Ball equipped. Normally you can just press left and then tap B and then tap B again on the right frame, but this is like tap left into unmorph on the right frame and then tap B to initiate the spark. Or I guess you could tap up again as well, but either way, he was trying to store a spark that he'd be able to use that would let him dash, whereas this blue suit, if he pressed the dash button, it would cancel. He only is losing a few seconds by it, so it was pretty free to go for. But getting a nice reverse halfie as well out of it. And Ponk is heading on up the elevator, and we are going to see some Forgotten Highway.
Let's see what Sloaters does, if he's going to follow the same path as he has. It looks like he's going to go sand pit first, so we're finally going to get some true route divergence rather than just the extra checks this Sloaters has done.
Yeah, I like sand pit to Shack to Plasma as an option here. If you really believe in the Meridia play has been pretty blank so far, hasn't given you access to anything you didn't already have access to. And so if you're making that Meridia play early off of that speed booster plus gravity, I kind of like committing to the full 6 checks here as Sloaters is doing. So we'll see if those last 2 majors are anything, but I like the play.
Ooh, another reserve tank. So nothing in the sand pit.
Well, we can bless Shack Tool coming up, and Sloaters is going to go check it, which, I mean, definitely a good call. I would be surprised to not see something at Shack Tool the way the seed opened progression, but this is Rando, so it's not always telling you a story, especially not now that the logic has been changed. It used to be that it was telling you a story the entire seed, and you just had to listen. But
yeah, especially when you got some of those slowest seeds, yep.
But yeah, now the logic being used in the playoffs does re-randomize progression every single item. So, I mean, gravity plus speed looked like a tell for Deep Meridia, but this is not Deep Meridia. This is more shallow than that. Like, you could have just gone to Shack Tool early. So the speed booster could not be part of this. Could be pointing to Waterway, though.
Alright, Ponk starting off his Fantoon fight. Doing some very nice Dopplering.
Alright, Sloaters is kind of showing off some speed keeps here. And he's gotten through his cutscene. And we're going to get some intended strats. And just an E-Tank, so yeah. The Meridia skip is going to work out for Ponk. All he missed was an E-Tank and a reserve tank.
Unless he goes back and checks it later. We'll see. There's 4 checks in the wrecked ship. We'll see if he goes and checks all 4. And he has the speed booster, so he can get to all of them.
Yeah, wreck ship reserve could also have been where that speed booster was pointing. Because speed booster is really at a conspicuous spot. I mean, could also have been an easy way to croc, although that has nothing to do with the logic, but, you know. It was interesting because it provided quite a few viable decisions.
Okay, Sloaters is going to find a reserve tank at Plasma, so not going to be happy with that. The question is he going to follow Ponk into the wreck ship, or is he going to head back down to Norfair?
With only one Crystal Flash, I feel like the Hell runs are still kind of slow, but nice deboost there off that French fry for Sloaters as he was exiting Plasma. But yeah, Ponk had a nice Fantoon and now is going to check the wreck ship E-Tank. And we'll see where Sloaters goes. This is a big juncture. And looks like he is headed for the wrecked ship. So we're going to see 2 Forgotten Highways.
Won't see that too often. Unfortunately for Sloaters, doing all these extra checks have not paid off, and it's put him quite a bit behind. And energy tank at the energy tank. And Ponk does not like to do the save reset here, so he did not save, so he's going to have to make his way back.
Yeah, and with good movement items here, I like not taking that save. It honestly doesn't save you any time. It's really just kind of a hedge against, am I going to get bodied by spikes and die? Which runners of even moderate skill are just not going to die to that room in this situation. He's got a lot of E-Tanks.
And Gravity Suit making the movement that much easier.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like he had gravity plus space jump plus high jump boots plus grapple. Yep. Like, there's very little that's going wrong unless he like K goes through a Kazan or something and just takes just a ridiculous amount of damage. But even still, he could take multiple hits and still be fine.
Not gonna check the reserve tank ahead of time.
Yeah.
He opened the door, so it looked like he was going to go that way.
It's a quick check with wave plus speed, so the 2 door transitions are what he was giving up. But I guess he's saying, I checked most of Meridia. All I've left is Waterway, Gauntlet, X-Ray, Shack Tool, Sand Pit, and then Hell Runs. And so I'm going to check both these items, and I think that there's good odds that it's going to be something.
Plus, it doesn't. If the item's not good, then the amount of time wasted by checking it this way rather than checking it ahead of time is not that significant. If the item is good, then it is a waste of time to check it ahead of time. And we're going to see in a second what we get. These annoying worker robots, get them out of the way. And what do we have? Any tank.
Yeah,
well, he picks it up. That'll give him stand-up glitch if he picks up Plasma, which he probably won't because it's where it is. I don't think he's going back to Gauntlet.
Yeah, his ammo's still not where you would want it to be for a chargeless, plasmaless Lower Norfair without a Various suit, but it's getting close. And that extra E-Tank, he's moving into territory where Various skip is definitely a possibility.
And it's something that he is more than capable of doing.
So yeah, this wrecked ship is not looking real good. How are you feeling about Waterway right about now, Tracy?
Yeah, not great. Although I'd probably check it before doing the Hell runs, because that's what the next thing is.
And Ponk isn't going to go check out what was going on at Gauntlet, so he's not going to get that plasma beam.
No, it makes sense for him not to check it. I mean, The best he could hope for is plasma or charge or ice. Any of the beams there would be useful for him, but that's not progression for him. What he needs is that Varia suit. He knows that's not there.
Charge would be progression there. Charge would matter in terms of not collecting miners.
Right.
But the important thing is Gauntlet cannot be the Varia suit.
Right, and that's what he's really looking for. So it looks like we're going to see a waterway check first here.
And Sloaters is looking like he's committed to Varia, which I like. They've swept out a lot of optional things. Really, skipping Varia makes the most sense when you haven't done Meridia, because some of those out-of-the-way checks are really slow. And so it makes sense to not go dig Varia out of Meridia. But both runners have checked Meridia, so there's not too many more places where Varia could actually be, especially for Sloaters having already checked X-Ray and Gauntlet. Now, again, Gauntlet can't be Varia, whatever. But he has a lot more checks out of the way.
Yeah, Ponk will do the X-ray check after... Oh, there's another reserve tank. Oof. Ponk will do the X-ray check after this. With Space Jump and Screw Attack, it's very free.
Yeah, so... It looks like hell runs. Sloaters is going to scout ahead and see that it is just an E-tank here. And looks like he's probably going to put all of his chips at the center of the table betting on the gravity location going through the bowling cutscene. But also not going to pay off.
Question is Ponk going to do those last two Meridia checks first, or is he going to go do his hell run? I suspect he's going to do the hell runs, but we'll see. He did not check Sandpay, he did not check Shack Tool.
He's got speed in so many E-tanks. It's hell run time for sure for Ponk.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But he'll check X-ray. That'll be a very quick check for him.
Yeah, I mean, speed, space jump. He's gonna fly through the room, quite literally. Can fly is set to true. You can see it right here on the right screen. And he's gonna find another E-tank, see if he wants to grab it. He's committing to it blind, but then skipping.
That tells me he's not really thinking in terms of doing a varioless lower Norfair then. Sloaters skipping the E-tank at gravity.
So...
A little surprised. I am a little surprised Sloaters doesn't try and pick up a couple more energy tanks. Since he's done so many more checks, he might go more for charge beam and less for ammo should it come down to that. And that would give him stand-up glitch if he has 7 E-tanks. Right now only 5.
Yeah, this to me looks like Sloaters is probably going to go for Croc first, just because it's the safer, faster of the hell runs because of Croc Speedway being open. And we might see Ponk do the Bubble Mountain area first.
Well, the bigger question is Sloaters going to check that waterway.
I can't see him skipping waterway here. This is the closest he's going to be to it. Unless he really feels like he can't afford it being waterway. But I would expect a left turn. No, he's skipping. Okay.
Yeah, I actually kind of like this call. He's checked so many more things than Ponk has. He's got to know that if it's at waterway, that if I just feel like he's checked everything, nothing's been there, and if it's Norfair as the other choice, he might have expected Ponk would have done those hell runs, in which case he would feel way behind.
I think both runners are in the situation of if the other runner did these hell runs first, and Varia's right here, I'm so dead, so I can't even play around it.
And to answer the question in chat, they're just getting into their Norfair Bubble Mountain checks, where Ponk is just, let's see, and just finding an E-tank. So they have not checked Speed Booster. In fact, that'll be the next one that he'll check.
Yeah, and I like the play here by both runners, actually. In Ponk's situation, I like the Bubble Mountain play first with his health and his situation. And oh nope, Sloaters isn't going to Croc. I was gonna say I like the decision to kind of take Croc Speedway and go Croc first, but it looks like Sloaters is gonna go Bubble Mountain first.
Yeah, we might see a Crystal Flash from Sloaters, depending on how... I mean, he's got very good movement items to get through this very quickly. But his energy is awfully low for any Hell Run at this point.
Yeah, we know he's got 2 E-Tanks waiting. Here's the first, and I was gonna say, are you really gonna skip that, Sloaters?
Yeah,
that would
that's
be an idiotic
crazy.
skip.
Well, I mean, because it's a 7-second fanfare, but Crystal Flash or farming is going to take a lot longer than picking up that E-Tank for 7 seconds. So.
Yeah, that would have been a madman skip. So I'm glad to see that Sloaters thought better of it and decided to grab the tank.
Okay, I didn't see the speed booster item. We're going to see this. So we'll see that and the way it goes. E-Tank and E-Tank. Ugh. So the play was to go to Croc.
Yeah, it's Croc-a-clock here for both runners. So we'll see what Croc's got.
And for all that Sloaters did all those extra checks, having Skip Waterway puts him not that far behind.
No, this is a close and competitive race. Both runners are in pretty good situations. Sloaters has the better beam right now, but Screw Attack is going to make that matter a little bit less in the sense that being able to clip through the red key hunters isn't going to be as big of a deal. But, yeah, I mean, this is a very competitive race as we would have expected.
And then the question becomes, do either of them check things like, well, actually, it's pretty much all that's left is the 3 lower Norfer items. So, do you check Screw Attack to see if it's Charge Beam?
I mean, I'm still digging out Ice plus Charge in 3 major locations. You bet I'm looking at Screw Attack.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I've got supers to do the gate glitch. I mean, 2 out of 3 majors are hits down there. Now, again, Sloaters isn't going to know about Waterway, and Ponk isn't going to know about Gauntlet. But in Punk's situation especially, Charge, Ice, and Plasma are all out there.
Yeah. Oh, and there's that Varia suit. So, we're not going to see Grapple Beam, I don't think. Unless they want to bet on it being Charge Beam.
Grapple, I think, is a good skip here.
Oh, yeah.
And now we get to hear that nice Croc tunes here. And once we finish here in Croc, I think I'll switch us over to... Ooh, I don't know. I was gonna say Ponk is going to Grapple, so now we'll wait and see what's at Grapple, and whether Sloaters goes and checks it to decide where the lead is on who's gonna have audio going forward. This could be a big play juncture. This could be the play that decides the race whether Sloaters goes to Grapple or not.
Oh, and it is Charge Beam. Oh, ooh. My.
Well, let's give Ponk that audio then. Croc was loaded, so now we get to listen to the sounds of Ponk.
Well, Captain Duck says it. Always bet on Croc Z.
I mean, it's 2 majors out of 34, and you're looking for a good number of things. I mean, especially here, there was good equity in Croc. The runners were basically forced into the play, so it makes a lot of sense to go here.
Sloaters picks up his Charge Beam. The interesting factor here is right now, Ponk has something like not counting ammo, and their ammo is pretty similar. Ponk would have an what is it, like 86 shot fight? This is the one that I never can remember because it's 210 damage and it's which is not divisible by 18,000. Sloaters, on the other hand, right now has a 24 shot Mother Brain fight. Again, not counting ammo.
I would be shocked if we see either runner pick up anything else, and B, be surprised if Sloaters doesn't have the lead into Mother Brain too. But we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, Sloaters does now have enough E-tanks to do stand-up glitch, which could save him quite a bit of time. What is it, 25 seconds? Whereas Ponk, while he can do the stand-up glitch, it doesn't really save a whole lot of time without Plasma Beam.
Yeah, and Sloaters is not taking the Nutella refill, saying, it's only 520 HP that I would gain from this stop, and I gotta move. But does go for the fast chronic boost setup. Let's see, he got it. Nicely done.
Oh, and Ponk is gonna check Screw Attack. Hoping for Ice or Plasma, I suspect.
Yeah, this is pretty bold, but it also lets him get an easy super farm. So that's something to double up. And ooh, that is a big find. That's really, really big for Ponk, actually. That brings his Mother Brain down to a 60-shot fight.
And it'll make his Torian faster since he won't have to use power bombs.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see Sloaters go there.
Nope.
That was the best possible outcome for Ponk. Now I don't know what to think of this race. This is either players.
Yeah, Sloaters taking the lead nominally, but with this item set that these two have, it's really hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. Ponk was able to use those Ripper 2s there as a super farm, which incentivized going over and checking the Screw Attack location. So it was this is a good play by both runners, what each of them is doing here. We just know that Ponk was able to spike Ice Beam out of that, which is just kind of insane.
And it makes a little more sense for Ponk, because either Ice or Plasma would have been a good find for him, since he doesn't know where Plasma was. There's 2 items he could want, whereas for Sloaters, it'd just be the Ice Beam.
Exactly. Ponk, by virtue of not having found Plasma at Gauntlet, his major locations that were outstanding have a slightly higher expected value. And so, definitely a good play by Ponk. And he's running low on power bombs, but he's got what he needs. So, Sloaters in a better power bomb situation. We'll see if Ponk ends up in a spot where he has... Or no, he's not going to need him for Tori anymore. I was going to say ship refill, but no, he has Ice Beam. And just lots of good movement on both screens. Both runners with very nice lower Norfares. Sloaters setting up for that nice charge shot opener. Every time I see it, I regret not having learned it yet. It's so nice looking.
And just like with Mother Brain 2, this will be a 24-shot fight for Sloaters. Ridley also with 18,000 HP.
Yeah, so... Sloaters will have the slightly faster Ridley, or a notably faster Ridley, rather. A slower Torian, but I think that's going to be pretty much a wash. Like, the Torian plus Mother Brain situation is going to kind of wash out, and I think Sloaters is actually in the lead here. But I think it's very, very close. It's definitely still either player's race, but I think Sloaters has a little more to give. And Sloaters does have 11 power bombs now post-Ridley. We'll see if he decides to farm any of the Violas on exit here, or if he grabs some more in, say Croc Speedway, or Frog Speedway, rather, on his way up.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of doing the Croc... yeah, got me saying it too, the Frog Speedway. Those are pretty much virtually guaranteed power bomb drops, and a lot of them, and he's got 11. He only really needs one more. Having the extra 3 would be just a little extra leeway.
Yeah, some of these are going to have to be used or will be optimally used on the escape. And so he's going to want 12 into Torian. He'll be able to get 6 in Frog Speedway, and that'll take care of him, assuming he gets this. He did not get his Wasteland Speedball, so that's going to make a difference. Now he may have wished he'd farmed the Violas, and maybe we'll see him farm some Alcoons?
Maybe. Those are pretty high drop rate for power bombs as well.
Yeah, I think they're upwards of 90%. I think they might be like 95s, but I'd have to check the drop table. Either way, good odds.
Yeah, and with his energy and ammo count, otherwise, saving not having to stop at the ship, I think makes it worth it. He is gonna check Firefly though. This is interesting.
He's looking for Ice Beam for sure.
Yep, and it's bombs.
See if he wants any power bombs. He does not want any power bombs here.
And the bombs at this point, since he's going to be using power bombs to kill the Metroids anyway, I'm not sure they would actually save time at this point.
Ice was at Screw Attack for anyone who didn't see. Ponk went in and used it as the Ripper 2s as a super farm because he wanted some supers for the Ridley fight, and was also rewarded with Ice Beam when he went. And so that's kind of the big story of this Lower Norfair.
Ponk not far behind.
Oh gosh, not at all. This is quite a race, as you know. This should not surprise anyone that this race is highly close.
Definitely befitting what we would expect to see with these two runners. Like we said, two of the best in the world, let's face it. If not the two best when it comes to Super Metroid Randomizer.
And just, this is so calculated by Sloaters. He's going to get exactly 6 power bombs here, and that will give him exactly the 12 that he needs for Torian. That was expertly played.
You know, those little nuances in the randomizer, knowing that number, for instance, just shows how good these guys are.
Yeah, I thought that the math got messed up by missing the Wasteland Speedball, but he had it all along. But yeah, Sloaters will be just a little ahead into Torian, but the difference between Plasma for Sloaters and Ice Beam for Ponk is going to be the story of this Torian. So I think we're going to see Ponk catch up in the Metroid rooms, probably in like Metroids 3 or 4. And then if Sloaters gets a clean speed Zeb skip, Sloaters should probably take it in Mother Brain 2. But there's a lot of execution in Torian. Torian is a super, super hard area to get right. Well, we do see in chat a comment about who saves the animals faster. Ponk will save the animals faster because Sloaters isn't going to save the animals. So
not going to do it.
Yeah, that might be the difference here, but I don't think it will be the difference here.
Yeah, if Ponk were ahead, that would be much more of a factor. If Ponk were clearly ahead, that would be more of a factor.
Now, I'd kind of forgotten about the animals until chat reminded us that Ponk does save the animals, so that was a heads-up observation there.
Oh, and Ponk is doing a refill. His ammo is pretty low.
Yeah, Sloater's ammo also not great, especially given that he's only getting one drop from each Metroid. But he has the better beam combo, and so getting all those supers for Ponk is going to be a big, big boon for the Mother Brain 2 fight. And we see Sloaters putting those extra E-tanks to good use, just getting down with some power bombs here on these Metroids. This will make it so they only give 1 drop a piece, instead of, I believe it's 4 that they normally give?
I believe that's right.
But Sloaters isn't depending on Metroid drops for anything here, so it's okay.
I do believe he actually got at least 1 Metroid drop there. He seemed to have gotten one somewhere between the Frog Speedway and Torian, and looks like he's got 8, well now 7, he's laid one. That'll give him 2 extra. So he's gotten a couple of power bomb drops.
Yeah, the Metroids I think do have a 12% drop chance on power bombs, and he
just
got
got
another
one
too. So floaters need to pick up low percent speed immediately.
Yeah, the Metroids are rather famous for giving you those drops when you don't need them. When you do, yeah.
But Sloaters is through at about 50-10 through his Metroid rooms. And we'll see when Ponk gets through. Which, unfortunately, checking Ponk's timer forces me to look at that hideous Blat timer. But that's okay. He gets through his Metroid rooms at about 28, so about 18 seconds behind.
And we'll see if either one, if one or both of them get Baby Skip. Both of them should get it, but you never know.
Nice skip so far from Sloaters. Got to clear those vines, and oh, that little vine there just got him good. So he's gonna inch over and face right.
So give Ponk a chance to catch up a little bit.
Yeah. And Ponk also getting nommed, but with more E-tanks. So both runners giving back time. Yeah, Ponk's fail of Baby Skip was faster, but he also had more E-tanks to drain, so I don't know how that worked out time-wise. It was probably right around time neutral for the two runners. It's pretty funny how that works out. Both these runners doing an awesome, awesome job. If somehow you are not yet following both Ponk and Sloaters, be sure to drop those guys a follow. They're absolutely awesome Super Metroid runners. Ponk just got sub 2 hours in blindfolded Super Metroid any percent as Sloaters gets a first try speed Zeb skip. And I don't know what Sloaters has gotten lately, but I've seen him working on any percent old route and running for like I forget. I think he's going for a 43 right now or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I believe he just got a PB for that any percent old route. I want to say it was in the 43s. I don't remember though. Did it last night, so.
Oh, I see. I am not updated on last night. So Tracy, with the current knowledge, he has a 43 old route. My God.
Cheaty with the information. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cheaty, I know, is watching, so he's got some of the numbers.
That's absolutely insane.
And absolutely also shouting out Cheaty Face here for doing all the tracking today. Should definitely follow him as well. A lot of good Super Metroid stuff going on. You can follow Maniacal and myself as well.
Yeah, I mean, Cheaty, awesome dude. Sloater's setting up for his stand-up. Shoutouts to Cheaty just winning his Super Metroid any percent Prodigy match yesterday. So he is also a very capable Super Metroid runner, and getting pretty close to that sub 50. So definitely a tracker worth a follow.
Yeah, and seeing them both in the Mother Brain fights, you can see where that charge, that plasma beam just makes all the difference in the world. Sloater's already in the cutscene, waiting to start his stand-up glitch, and Punk's just going to damage himself. Is he gonna go? Nah, he's just gonna damage himself down as if to do stand-up, but...
I was gonna say, this is a stand-up for Ponk. He's gonna, take the time save that's on the table. Sloaters is going to have a much more effective stand-up.
Yep.
But Ponk, a little bit of a... Both runners actually a little bit dicey on damaging themselves down. Those onion rings there were a little scary for Ponk. But he is through. So as long as he doesn't bop himself into Mother Brain's head or something, then he'll be good to go. And did one of those onion rings just miss for Sloaters? I don't think it slowed things down too much. But, either way, nice stand-up from Sloaters. He's going to wait and be careful and then just kind of get that Rainbow Beam and finish Mother Brain off. Nice. Even without Ice Beam, that was only, what, a 6-shot Mother Brain?
Yeah, not too many shots needed there.
Oh, and for anyone not reading chat but just listening, I'm seeing that we may have had some bad info. Sloaters may not have a 43 old route. Maybe he got a PB of a 44-0X or something. But
yeah, it was definitely a 40. It was definitely a PB, but I don't remember what the time was.
Yeah, and nice blue bomber there from Sloaters, using that beloved spring ball. Actually, is because he had the screw attack equipped and did the speed zeb skip. So that's a very nice Torian Torian escape here for Sloaters. And of course, just as I say that, he misses a wall jump, but definitely with the lead here, and we'll see Ponk probably going to see the dot done before he heads for the animals. But I think we're going to see Ponk save the animals. And nice parlor. Oh! This is an honorable move by Sloaters.
It is indeed.
He knows that Ponk saves the animals, so he's going to save the animals, and I respect it. That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I like that too.
I appreciate that they agreed on that. I mean, they have to have agreed, unless Sloaters just said, I'm doing it and I'm not saying anything, but that's pretty cool.
In the meantime, Sloaters finishing up with a 56-21. GG to Sloaters. And Ponk gonna go down and save his animals?
Yeah, that was quite a race. Looks like it's gonna be within a minute of each other on a fairly thorough seed, and both runners saving the animals and still well sub-hour. So, yeah, very, very nice run by both runners. Very fitting for a game one, but this was just game one.
We have two. Hopefully we have two more to go, because this quality of racing, I want to see 3 games.
Yeah, I am excited. I hope we see 3, although I kind of only have time to watch 2 right now, so we'll see how it goes. But that was quite a race, so really glad that I got to join you on commentary for that one, Tracy.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in with me. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a good match, Sloaters versus Ponk. This is the finals that I wanted to see. I mean, there were a lot of possible finals, that would have been very, very good, but this is right up there with any of them.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll let the credits play. We'll get some seeds sent out to the runners. Thank you again. Thank you for joining me, Maniacal. I will be on comms for the next one with Plumpst, and then hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll have a game 3. If there's anything you want to add, this would be the time.
Well, I'm asking Sloaters, and so is Cheaty Face in the SRL channel, asking him what his old route time is. So I want to get that straight before I leave.
Yeah, let's do that.
But we're gonna see where those items are.
Oh, there we go. It's a 4409.
4409.
So getting close to that 43.
That is pretty insane.
That is incredibly insane.
GG's in the chat for both runners.
Absolutely.
Excellent race. And I'm sure race 2 is going to be equally as good, and race 3 as well if Ponk should take that one down. But that's pretty much all I've got to say, other than I hope everyone has enjoyed this inaugural season of the Randomizer League as much as I have. I'm excited for Season 2 coming up. The action is not done. It'll just be kind of a different iteration. But for now, enjoy the finals of this one.
All right. Yep. And I'm going to take a little break, and we'll be right back with you as soon as we can get the next race set up. So please do stay tuned.